My biggest offshore banking mistake, so you don't need to make them. Offshore banking. It sounds like something only billionaires and shady businessmen do, right? Now, well, that's what I thought too, until I made some costly mistakes. Mistakes that could have frozen my accounts, cost me thousands in unnecessary fees, and even land me in legal trouble. If you're considering opening an offshore bank account, watch this video first, and trust me, some of these are painfully expensive lessons. Hi guys, I'm Zach, the founder of AmiFast, and welcome back to this channel. If you're new here, I talk about global finance, offshore banking, and how to protect your wealth and legally and smartly. If that sounds like something you want to master, hit that like button and subscribe, because today I'm diving deep into my biggest offshore banking regrets, so you can learn from it and you don't need to make the mistakes I made. Now let's dive into it. Before we start, what is offshore banking? Offshore banking refers to opening and maintaining a bank account in a foreign country, outside of your own country of residence. These accounts are often used for asset protections, tax efficiency, privacy, and global business operations. Now, why do people use offshore bank accounts? There are different reasons, of course, and I will give 5 of them. And as I said, there are many reasons. The first reason is tax optimization. Some offshore banks are located in low tax or tax-free jurisdictions, helping individuals and businesses legally minimize taxes. A very important one is asset protection. Offshore accounts shield wealth from lawsuits, political instability, and currency devaluation. If you need more privacy, many offshore banks provide strict financial secrecy and protect personal information. Another one is access to global banking. Offshore banks often allows multi-currency accounts, making it easier to manage international transactions. And lastly, better banking services. Some offshore banks offer higher interest rates, lower fees, and premium banking features. Now let's move to my mistakes to make sure you don't need to make them in the future. One of the first mistakes I made was choosing the wrong country to open my offshore bank account. When I first started, because you always see it in the movies and you read it everywhere, I really thought like, hey, Switzerland is the best place for offshore banking, right? Because I mean, everybody's saying it, and you can even see it in movies. And actually, that's completely wrong. Just because a country is famous for offshore banking doesn't mean it's the right fit for you. For starters, some banks have insane minimum deposits requirements, like $500,000 just to open a bank account. And yeah, that's $500,000 just to get in the door. Then there are some restrictions. I'm not American, but I found out that a lot of banks won't even touch US clients because of the strict tax regulations. And so if you're American, that's definitely something to keep in mind. Let's not forget government compliance. Some countries are very happy to hand over all the account holder information to all the foreign tax authorities. So if you're looking for privacy, you might want to double check how cooperative your chosen bank destination really is. This is your lesson. Do your research before choosing a banking jurisdiction. Today, I personally prefer Hong Kong, the Cayman Islands, and the UAE because they offer strong privacy laws, stable banking system, and lower deposit requirements. And what I'm going to tell you right now really hurts. So I thought opening an offshore bank account is like opening a regular bank account back home. You walk inside, 5 minutes later, you walk out with a bank account. But no, that is completely not the case. First, you have monthly maintenance fees. Some banks actually charge you just for the privilege of having a bank account with them, anywhere from $50 to $200 a month. And that's like paying rent for your own money. Then there are wire transfer fees. You need to send money internationally. That could cost you anywhere from $30 to $150 per transaction. Now imagine doing that multiple times a month. That's basically a hidden tax on moving your own cash. And the worst one, foreign exchange fees. If your account is in a different currency, banks will happily take 3 to 5% on every exchange. And that doesn't sound like much until you realize you're losing hundreds and maybe some thousands of dollars just on conversion rates. And yeah, not exactly what I signed up for, of course. So I know you're busy, but always read the fine print and choose a bank with low fees. Banks in Dubai and Singapore tend to have lower transaction fees than those in Switzerland or the Caribbean. And not all offshore accounts are the same, and I learned this the hard way. I once opened a personal offshore account thinking I could use it for my business. Now, it turns out that was a huge mistake because many offshore personal accounts don't allow large business transactions. So if you mix personal and business funds, you can get flagged for money laundering. That can be a risk that you have, and maybe you cannot open a bank account anymore in that country. Or if you run a business, always set up a corporate offshore account, not a personal one. And I think banks in Hong Kong and the UAE and the Cayman Islands are great for this. This is where things can get seriously dangerous, because some people really think that just because money is offshore, it's invisible. But of course, that's not the case. Every country has different rules. For US citizens, you must report offshore accounts over $10,000. For UK citizens, for example, offshore earnings must be declared or you risk penalties, serious penalties. And if you're an EU citizen, many countries automatically exchange banking data under the CRS. Now, one of my biggest mistakes was not reporting my offshore account early enough. Even if you think you're not doing anything illegal, the penalties for not reporting can be pretty brutal. I always work with good professionals like we have in our team, because MFAs really understand international banking laws. The terrifying thought is, what if your offshore bank account suddenly freezes and all your money is blocked? It happens more often than you actually think. A government investigation or a new banking regulation or even a banking collapse and can just leave you locked and you cannot touch your own money. And the solution is diversifying, of course. And I know that you might hear it many times, but it really works. Instead of keeping all your money in one offshore account, try to spread it across. A personal account in Singapore for daily transactions, a corporate account in the UAE, a backup, for example, in the Cayman Island for this extra security issue. And in this way, if one of the banks has an issue, you are not out completely without money. So if you're just starting, let me give you good advice. Please choose the right country for your banking needs. Understand the fees before you're opening a bank account. Make sure your accountant is using the right type of account, personal or corporate, and don't trust people blindly to stay compliant with tax laws and to avoid penalty. And the most important one, diversify your banking so you're never stuck. So yes, I made this mistake so you don't have to. Offshore banking is an incredible tool for protecting and growing your wealth, but you need to do it the right way. Now I'm curious, what kind of issues do you have with banks in the past? Leave your questions below and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.